Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today at the Owl's Nest. Hi, welcome. If you are new here, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, as we will do more of these meditations and so much more to come. Anything about healing, spirituality, mindfulness, and my favorite thing, self-empowerment. So today we are talking about shadow work, one of my favorite topics. And a lot of people are really afraid of shadow work because it sounds like this big, scary thing. And in a way, it is, because essentially you have to face the shadow. So let's, first and foremost, what is shadow work? Shadow work is the subconscious patterns, beliefs, parts of us that we have suppressed, disowned, and denied. And because we push these subconscious patterns, what ends up happening is that we create behaviors, patterns, fears, cycles in our lives, relationships, all sorts of things that manifest on the outside. But more importantly, one of the most powerful things about shadow work is when we want to manifest. Have you ever wondered why people can create or win like the lottery and then like about a year later they're broke again? Because that's an example of not having healed the shadow work. If you have a poverty mindset, and sure, you did the work and you manifested the money, but if you don't know how to value that money, how to grow that money, how to appreciate it, you end up defaulting back and then you lose it. And oftentimes this happens when we are actually manifesting, when we are actually making changes in our lives, because the subconscious mind job is to keep you safe. It's to keep you in the known. And believe it or not, sometimes the known isn't always pleasant. So let's just bring up the idea that as a child, you've had a lot of fears. You've lived in a very unsafe environment. That becomes the known. So as an adult, you keep recreating circumstances, subconscious patterns, beliefs in your mind, where you keep creating fear, whether it is internal or external. You can even create circumstances where you're attracted to people who bring fear. I can only relate it to my own story, where for me, I can always think about relationships, and I had a pattern of creating very unsafe relationships, and in relationships with people who were actually violent or aggressive or didn't value me at all. In fact, my first relationship when I was 13, I was in a very, very abusive relationship where my partner ended up trying to end my life. And I know it sounds very extreme, and I'm okay, guys. But I'm only sharing this because I kept recreating that relationship over and over again throughout my future. And it was only when I started doing shadow work, when I really started looking at the parts of me that I've suppressed, disowned, and denied, that I realized why I was attracting this. And we were talking about this today, Steve, by the way, there's people in the room, how we were talking about how I was saying that I look out for certain red flags now in relationships because I recognize the pattern. And even though I've healed it, subconscious can be so deep that sometimes they still show up in little pieces, in little bits and pieces. So it's our job to step forward and make sure that we do not repeat the cycle, that we do not allow these patterns to come back in. So what is the most important thing about shadow? There's three things that you need to know. There's the triggers, the cycles, and the mirror. I always go back to these because these are three signs that the shadow is prevalent. So the triggers, obviously something that triggers you, something that really activates your emotions more than normal people. Like if you're in a situation, let's just say for me, I always like to use going to the supermarket and I go to the meat aisle, I get very emotional, okay? Nobody else thinks about it twice. They just see meat, they just see fish, and they're just passing by. For me, it's like having a whole mental breakdown, and I have to ignore it, and I have to just kind of walk by like this. But that's because there's a shadow in me when it comes to that. The other one is mirroring. When somebody triggers something so intense emotionally in you. That could be, for instance, let's just say somebody who has a big ego, and they walk in the room and it just, for some reason, man, their just personality just piss you off. The reason for that is because you suppress, disown, and deny your own ego. You don't accept your own egotistical self, and you label it as a bad thing, as a very negative thing. And so this is when we start understanding the shadow a little bit more. Everything that you do is serving you in some way. The other one is the cycles. This is a very easy one. Keep attracting the same relationship over and over again, cannot manifest money. Keep being in the same emotional state and can't get out of it. That's an obvious other shadow. So saying all of this, how do we heal the shadow? Well, if the shadow is to suppress, disown, and deny, healing is the opposite of the state that you're in, which is heal, integrate, and accept. If you break your bones, the healing of it is the mending. If you are sick, the healing of it is getting well, back to health, right? So there are certain things that we are aware of the shadows. Now, obviously, this is a very, very superficial talk about shadow, but it gives you just the very basic gist of it. And you can understand now how the shadow can keep you back from manifesting something. So if you've never really experienced love and you're safe in not having any love, then for you to manifest a relationship can be very difficult because number one, you don't know what a safe relationship is. And number two, you have to accept certain parts of you that are a mirror to those not being able to attract. So for me, when I looked at my relationship, in what ways was I abusing myself? That's why I was also attracting people who were abusive. And even though I was a very nice teenager, I was a very nice kid, I had an eating disorder, I had a lot of mental problems, I attempted to take my own life several times. So it makes sense that I would attract somebody who disrespected me as much as I disrespected myself. So at the time, of course, you don't see it. And of course, it's always good just to kind of look at the things. And you can heal anything, guys. You can do the work. You can figure it out. You can get better, but it does require commitment, consistency, and self-love above everything else. So the mending of most shadows is to learn how to love yourself, essentially. That's the number one key, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if we say that we have a lot of fears, how can we accept the fears and understand that those fears are really there to protect you? For most of the time, maybe you felt like those fears have been your enemy. And so when we look really deep and we look at the root cause of that, it could be because something happened in childhood and it kept you safe. And now it's just manifesting continually. So how can we appreciate this part of ourselves, yet let it know that we are now in charge? And you can come with me, but I've got the reins now. So easier said than done, but it's just something to think about. So today we're going to do a meditation and we're going to allow ourselves to see any shadows that are holding us back from a manifestation, from something that you want to create. And then we're going to integrate that part of us and bring in that very thing that we want. Okay. All right, guys. So get yourself comfortable, close your eyes, and let's begin. And so just taking a moment now, just settling in, connecting to your breath, connecting to yourself. And just inviting yourself to be still, to be present, to notice what comes up, any thoughts, any sensations. And with your breath, just release any tension that you may be holding on to. Yeah. Taking deep breaths is always good. Waking up the body. And releasing any stress or any tension. And I want you now just to take a moment to connect with yourself and honor yourself for taking this step today. And trusting that doing the shadow work ultimately is casting the light upon the shadows within you. Bringing back your life force, reconnecting parts of you that may be lost. that you may have rejected, and learning to accept that you are not just one thing. You are many. You are part of everything, the good, the bad. And even though as humans this may be very difficult for us to understand, I really encourage you today to just be open-minded and to just say yes to something different. Above all, to say yes to change, to say yes to freedom, acceptance, and self-love. And so I invite you now just to take a quick scan of your body from head to toe. And as we do this, I want you to visualize a lavender, soft, soothing, calming light. A beautiful lavender, just moving down the top of your head, your eyebrows, your eyes, your chin, your nose, your mouth, down your neck, just feeling this soothing light. Down your shoulders, your chest, your back, your arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, all the way to your hands. Back to your stomach, your middle back, your hips, your groin area, washing down your legs to your knees, your shins, your calves, your ankles, your feet, all the way to your toes. Just breathing in this lavender light as it soothes your lungs, soothes your heart, comforting, calming, loving, reassuring energy. Literally see yourself breathing in this beautiful lavender color. See it swirl around your chest, and as you breathe out any toxicity, any negativity, any heaviness, any stress. And I invite you to do this for a few breaths now as we stay in stillness and silence. Each breath, feel the expansion, feel the relaxation, bringing your body into a very peaceful, safe state. And as always, I like to call forth the angelic realm and your higher self today, inviting them to work in unison to help you release these shadows, become self-aware, and above all, help you be free to make the changes that you are ready to manifest and create so that you can truly transform your energy, your life, your reality, and take your power back. And so above you now, I want you to see a golden and white ball of light swirling around each other in circular motions, moving down and down till it surrounds you and it goes around your body. This is creating an energetic vortex around your body, an energetic field that is moving, that is active. A very powerful energy. And just staying in this, however it appears to you in your mind, however you feel it or see it or not. Just trust. And so, let's begin. I want you now to think of one thing that you are ready to manifest in your life. It doesn't have to be very complicated. It can be very simple, such as feeling peaceful in the morning, changing job, liking myself a little more. Or it could be more materialistic. It doesn't really matter. But even the material things really have an emotional attachment and need behind it. So essentially find the need that you're seeking. What is it that I need if I want more money? Is it safety? Is it security? Is it freedom? What is it that I need to have a better car? To feel more valued? Build more self-respect? Whatever that means to you. So take a moment to really think and connect to this desire. Awaken that energy, awaken this wish. And what does it mean to you to have this in your reality? How differently would you see yourself, feel yourself? How would this impact your future, your present, and your past? How would this change you from the inside out and from the outside in? And above all, what is the need that you're seeking from this? It's very important that you find this need. And if you're not quite sure, then just guess, because most likely you do know. As long as it's close enough, it's enough. What do I need? What do I want? What am I seeking? What am I trying to achieve? Who am I wanting to become because of this? How would I like to see my future self? And now, I want you to find the opposite of that need. We're going to look into the shadow now and reveal the shadow aspects of it. So let's just say that you are seeking to feel loved. Then in what ways does your shadow hold parts of you that you suppress, disown, and deny that you do not love? Or that you do not value? Or that you feel that are not worthy? Or that are in fear, in lack? Whatever your need is, find the opposite. And so ask yourself, in what ways do I devalue myself? In what ways do I hold on to these fears, these insecurities? In what ways do I reject, disown, and deny these parts of myself? Just take a moment to just notice what comes up. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, and emotions, maybe even memories. They may feel uncomfortable, but this is part of the work. Just breathe through it. Remember this lavender light, and remember that you are assisted by your spiritual team. And now ask your subconscious mind to reveal anything else that is connected to this that you may not be aware of. Don't force it, just sit in silence and allow it to come to you. Your body holds memory. Your body holds information. Trust what it reveals to you. Even if you don't completely understand it, the feeling, the sensations alone are telling you something. And now I want you to think about triggers. In what ways do these shadows trigger you? Circumstances, places, and people. Just notice what comes up once again. Just breathe through it. And what about mirroring? The aspects of this that you see in other people that you reject, disown, and deny, and that bring up strong emotions within you. And finally, the cycles. How does this pattern manifest over and over again in your life? And now let's go even deeper. Where did I learn that these behaviors, these thoughts, these patterns were bad, were evil? Whatever the story is that you've been telling yourself. Is this something that was passed down to me by a family member, by society, by an event? Just take a moment to feel and listen. What does it mean if I am these things? And why do I find it so hard to accept them? That they are a part of me. They are a part of this world, not just me. And now I want you to ask an even deeper question. Why do I hold on to this? To this belief, to this pattern, to this way of being, to these shadows? What would it mean if I let them go? If I changed my way of thinking? What would happen to me or my reality? And notice if there is any resistance that arises. Just breathe through it and just listen. Your ego may fight you, but that's okay, that's normal. I want you now to think of something. I want you to see the younger version of yourself standing in front of you. Little you, maybe you're 5, 6 years old, maybe younger. The innocence, the purity, the most deepest connection to the highest realms. And I want you now to see these patterns in them, the shadows that you have so rejected, disowned, and denied within yourself. But see them in them. How does that make you feel? How does that change your perspective about it? Your story? And notice how much more you relax, seeing it in the younger version of yourself. The compassion, the kindness, the love. How you understand that they're just being human. And so if you cannot accept this within yourself just yet, can you accept this in the younger version of yourself and love them unconditionally for it? Would you speak to them the way that you speak to yourself? Would you treat them the way that you treat yourself? You have to remember that little you always lives within you. So when you punish yourself, you also punish them. So let's take a moment now to make them feel loved, seen, valued. Shower them with the things that they need to hear, to help them heal. And so, kneel down and speak to them. What would they need to hear in this moment? Really go there mentally. Allow yourself to tell them how precious, how perfect they are, how loved, how safe, how valued. See them receive the praises, the love, the energy that you are sending them. And see how easy it is for them to let go of the shadows, because they accept the light just as easily as they accept the shadow. They don't hold on to anything like we do. And when you're ready, give them a big hug. And as you hug them, they begin to merge with you, becoming one with you. Feeling little you happy and at peace inside your heart. And so whenever these shadows arise, this is all you need to do. See them as a part of you, but not as the complete part of you. Shower them with love, with compassion, and then bring them back home to you without rejecting, disowning, and denying them, but accepting, loving, and integrating them. And so I want you now to repeat this mantra in your mind. I accept all of you, and I leave nothing behind. I accept all of you, and I leave nothing behind. I accept all of you, and I leave nothing behind. And so repeat this to yourself for a few minutes. You might find that you may resist it, but I encourage you to say it anyway. No judgment, just allowing. And the more you repeat this mantra, just notice how your body opens up just a little more, how it relaxes just a little more. It's been wanting you to say this to it for a very long time. The more we accept these parts of us, the more we see ourselves, the more power we have. But when we suppress, disown, and deny, we give our power away subconsciously to people, places, and things, making them more powerful than ourselves. And so when we own these aspects, we take our power back. We reclaim ourselves as whole, perfect, and complete just as we are. And then we can take action and truly change our reality. I accept all of you, and I leave nothing behind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I want you to take a moment to send yourself some of that healing, some of that love, whatever it is that you needed or that you need, however it comes to you. And just saying yes to your own love. This is where your power is. This is where your light lives. It's within you. It's always been there. And the more you love yourself, the more the light in your heart becomes to get brighter and bigger, moving you from that dark space into light, into peace, into oneness. And as we begin to return back to the space, expanding our awareness outwards, we become one with everything and all around us, integrating everything and all. With grace, with love. We return. And slowly bringing ourselves back now, beginning to wiggle your toes and your fingers, feeling your breath, feeling the temperature of the air on your skin. Gently and slowly returning back. And when it feels right, you can return and open your eyes. Be very gentle with yourself at this time. Shadow work can be very intense for some of us. It's very deep healing and very deep work. But this is where the change really happens. This is where you really take your power back and can really transform your life. I feel like some of you went very deep. That's good.
Sorry.
That's okay. You went deep. That's perfect. That's exactly what you need. Well, welcome back, everybody. So as always, guys, leave a comment below. Let us know how this meditation was for you, and if you have any requests of any types of meditation that you would like us to make. As always, have a magical day.